everybody, Emily from Knitting Butterflies here, and I just wanted to take a little bit of time and tell you all about our trip to Chicago that happened last month. My husband and I traveled to Chicago as kind of a getaway for just the two of us, which was awesome, but we went for a very specific purpose, which I'll go over in just a minute. But before I get started telling you all about our trip, I wanted to take a minute and thank all of you who donated to the Knitting Butterflies podcast because of the Hamel Knit hat pattern. This is a hat pattern that I designed and it is free, and it is covered in lyrics from the musical Hamilton, and I've knit like 7 of these things so far. And it's really cute. It matches my dress. And you guys, this is a free pattern that's available on Ravelry, but you guys really went above and beyond. I did say on the pattern, if you wanted to donate as a thank you for the pattern, you could donate to the Knitting Butterflies podcast, and that money would go toward helping me go see the play Hamilton live on Broadway. And you guys completely blew us out of the water with your generosity, and I just wanted to thank you. Because of you, that trip went really, really well, and we had a really good time. So thank you so much for that. So I am all dressed up today. I am wearing, ooh, my hair's all messed up now. I am wearing my dress that I sewed for myself. Let's see if you can get a good view of it. I went to a store. I went to a bridal store. Not my bridal store that I work at. I went to a different one because we don't carry the type of dresses I was looking for. I went to a different bridal store and I tried on a dress there that I really loved, but it was really expensive. And since I work at a bridal shop, I didn't feel great about giving money to a competitor, I'll be honest. So I decided not to purchase that dress that day, but I took the basic idea of it, and then I went to Joann and I bought a pattern and fabric and made myself a dress for less than half the cost that the dress was in the store. And I love it. It's just a really simple princess seam. This is a gold lace embroidery fabric that I found at Joann, and then this is a black jersey knit on the outside, and then it is fully lined as well. It has a slit up one side and it goes all the way to the floor, and I love it. If you want to see pictures of the full thing, check out my Instagram, but I just wanted to wear it to show you guys because I was super excited about it and I felt really classy wearing it. And I bought my husband a tie that had like black and then gold lace that's kind of like a paisley looking embroidery on it, and so we matched, but not really. It was perfect. It was amazing. And so we went to Chicago for my birthday, which is in the beginning of April. We left on a Monday, and we left super early in the morning. And we flew from Denver to Chicago and took the train from the airport to downtown Chicago. And those of you who know me well know that I have a thing about like the idea of riding trains to get places, like fascinates me. Because we don't really have that anywhere near where I live. Denver kind of has it, but not in any of the areas that I visit. So we got to ride the train, and which we were super excited about, and then it kind of didn't smell great, but it was fun, and it was nice to be transported over decent distances and be able to knit the whole time and just hang out and talk and things like that. It was a really pleasant experience, and we arrived in downtown Chicago and walked over to our hotel and checked in, and then we just started traveling the city, like walking around and seeing what kinds of things we could find. We ate amazing food. Well, okay, so honestly, the first day we had Qdoba because it was National Party Day and there was a buy one get one free. We were super hungry and we were just like, let's just get Qdoba, and then everything else we eat will be local, and that's what we did. So we ate Qdoba for lunch the first day, but we just walked around town, and it's funny because we spent most of our time just kind of doing this. Buildings were so tall. They were so tall, and we're not used to that at all. And so, and it was kind of rainy and cold, especially the Monday and the Wednesday that we were there. So we went to Walgreens and bought an umbrella and stuff, but it was so cloudy that you couldn't even see the tops of the buildings, which I was like, is it just that cloudy, or are the buildings just that tall, or is it kind of a mix of both? And in Colorado, we don't get clouds like that. and our buildings aren't that tall. So it was just a really cool experience. The architecture was amazing. We walked through the cultural center and went to an art exhibit, and we went to the mall, and we just did a lot of things that we don't normally get to do because there's so many kids, right? And the cultural center was really cool. There was a lot of, there was a whole yarn related, well, somewhat yarn related. There was a quilt exhibit of quilts that had been made by African American women, and there was one quilt that was made out of her son's worn out blue jeans, and then there was another quilt of a woman who saved like scraps of yarn and fibers and things from clothes that her kids grew out of, and then she like made this really beautiful tapestry out of it and stuff. And so we went to the quilt exhibit, and we just had a really good time. We ate at Elephant and Castle for the first night, and at that point after dinner it was getting dark. We decided to head back because we were in the loop, and people were starting to get a little bit more forward with us as far as asking for money or things like that, which we love helping out when we can, but it was kind of feeling a little bit more aggressive as the evening went on. So we went ahead and went home, or we went back to our hotel room and just watched a movie and hung out for the rest of the evening. And then the next day was Hamilton Day. So we were super excited when we woke up. We went to lunch first at Giordano's, I believe is what it's called. It's a pizza place. It's like stuffed pizza, and it's unlike any pizza that I've ever seen before. It had like the stuffed crust with we ate at a place called Giordano's, I think is how you pronounce it, with their stuffed pizza, and my husband got a sandwich that he really enjoyed, and I got pizza because of course you have to get Chicago style pizza. And so it was like the crust with the cheese inside, and then the sauce was on top, and that was kind of unusual. I'd never seen that before, but it was so good. Oh my gosh, I didn't know pizza could be that good. It was amazing. We enjoyed some pizza from there. We went back to the mall. We went ahead and got our shopping for our kids done at the Disney store because we don't have a Disney store in my part of Colorado. So we went to the Disney store and did all the shopping for the kids and things like that. And we took the train from the part where we were at down to the Shed Aquarium. And we heard from a lot of people that the aquarium was really cool. So we went to the Shed Aquarium and kind of walked around there, and it's interesting because, I mean, aquariums are fun. The part that we found the most interesting was the Great Lakes exhibit, mostly because my husband's family is from Michigan, and so it was interesting to see a lot of the wildlife that lives in the lakes that we visit pretty often and stuff, the different fish and the different eels and plant life and things like that, and to read articles about the history of it, and that was by far the most interesting part for us. And we walked around Millennium Park. We found the bean. Yes, I was so excited to find the bean. Can you tell I don't travel as much as I would like to, and I haven't been to a lot of places. So we walked around Millennium Park and the gardens. The gardens were not blooming yet. Everything was still pretty dead, and so, but it was nice to see birds that weren't pigeons. As much as we enjoyed the pigeons in the city, it was nice to see other birds and things like that. And we thought about going to the Sears Tower and going to the top, but it was so cloudy that you couldn't see the top of it. And my thought was, once you get there, all you're going to see is just clouds. And so it didn't seem like it was going to be quite as exciting as it would have been on a sunny day or things like that. So we had such a good time, though, just being grown-ups and trying new food and walking around and doing the things that grown-ups get to do, you know? So then we came back and we got ready for Hamilton. We got dressed and we went to a restaurant called Pettorino's, which is an Italian restaurant a couple blocks away from the theater. And we, at Pettorino's, they're so cute. Their phrase that we kept hearing over and over again was, "We'll get you to your show on time." They asked us what kind of show or what show we were going to go see and make sure we that they would get us to our show on time. And this sweet woman who was sitting at the table next to us overheard us that we were going to go see Hamilton, and she was probably 75, 80, and she was so funny. She was like, "My son got tickets to go see Hamilton and he didn't take me, and I was so mad, and so then my friend got tickets to go see Hamilton And I went with her, and she said this. She said, I think it is the best show I have ever seen in my life. Like, and she said that she sees a lot of shows. And so that was really exciting and cute to hear her say that. So we ate our dinner. It was delicious. I had fettuccine Alfredo because it's like my favorite food in the world. And then we headed over to the theater. Our reservation for dinner was at 5:30, and I made it plenty early so that we would have some time to eat. And we were planning on having dessert, but we were so full from dinner that we didn't end up having dessert at the restaurant at the time. So we got to the theater about 45 minutes early, which was perfect because they had the doors of the theater open, but they didn't have the seating open yet. So it was really crowded. But there were the big signs for the show, and everybody was taking pictures in front of the signs. And we got to check out some of the merchandise that they have available. And we actually didn't end up buying any of the merchandise. I really like the books and things, but I already have the Hamilton book that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote, and I have a lot of Hamilton t-shirts, so I didn't really need another t-shirt, and I liked the sweatshirt, but it was really expensive, and I don't know, I just can't justify paying $75 for a sweatshirt, which is no problem at all. So yeah, we had fun looking at the merchandise, didn't end up purchasing anything, which is totally okay with us. So we checked out the merchandise, and then we went to our seats. So we sat in the dress level, which there's the orchestra level, and then there's the dress level, and then there's the mezzanine. So we were in the dress level in the very front off to the left side. And we had an amazing view. There was nobody sitting in front of us at all. So I had a completely unobstructed view of the whole theater. And the stage was incredible. The theater was incredible. I just kept looking around, and I was taking videos of it and sending it to my friends. And it was just, I couldn't believe that I was there. I was so excited. And the show started. And like the first song, first of all, it was Wayne Brady performing Aaron Burr, and I grew up with Wayne Brady on Whose Line Is It Anyway? He was always my favorite, and so having the first bars opening as Wayne Brady, with Wayne Brady as Aaron Burr, I just started crying. And I composed myself, but I kind of cried on and off through the whole first act. And the performance was so incredible. The dancing was like spot on, perfect. Everybody, you could just tell that this was like a well-oiled machine of a show. I've not seen anything live on actual Broadway before, and so this was a new experience for me, but I just couldn't believe the amount of technical detail that went into everything. And reading the book, Hamilton, a Musical Revolution or a Revolution, the book that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote, he just talks a lot about the details and how everything from the neck down was period accurate, and everything from the neck up is modern day. And so I noticed a lot of that, and I just sat there watching the costumes and the costume changes, and again, the choreography. There were so many things about the choreography that I had no idea about, that I know this musical like inside and out as far as the music. There's one song that is in the actual performance that I had never heard before because it wasn't included on the soundtrack. And so that, of course, that one made me cry. But there were so many like nuances and subtleties and breaks for laughter and choreography that goes with the music that added a completely different dimension to the show. And it was so amazing. And the first act ended, and my husband looked over at me, and I just burst into like sobs. And he goes, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And I said, "It's halfway done." I was not ready to be halfway done with this experience already. And so he looked at me and said, "I think you need a drink." And I said, "I think I do." So I went to the bar and I got him a glass of wine, and I have to show you what I got. I got the Hamilton cocktail, and it comes in this cup. And it says Hamilton with the logo on it. So this was my souvenir from the show. It says Hamilton, but it has a top on it that has like a lid. And so my husband looks at me and he goes, "You got alcohol in a sippy cup. You know that, right?" which I thought was so funny. And so I'm definitely keeping this cup. This will be my Hamilton Alcoholics cup. So, so that was really fun. And that kind of helped me calm down and mellow out a little bit more so I could really just enjoy the rest of the show. And the second act, I enjoyed even more. It was amazing. And I, of course, cried in the appropriate places to cry and things like that. And then it was done. And we finished, and we waited around a little bit. We thought we had heard that sometimes the actors come out and greet people, but I misunderstood where that was. So we sat around for a while kind of waiting to see if that would happen, and then we left the building, and as we were leaving, there was a big line of people along the side of the building, and I realized, oh, these are the side exit doors where the actors leave out of. And so we waited in that line, and the woman who plays Angelica came out, and she didn't even wait for everybody to like come to her. She came to each group of people herself and greeted them and thanked them for coming to the show, and signed anything they wanted and offered to take pictures. And she was so sweet and so nice. And so she came down and we got to meet her and take a picture with her. And then the person who was waiting at the front of the line as people worked their way through was the man who played Hamilton. And so we got to meet him and get autographs from him and pictures and things like that. And they were both so nice and so sweet. It was so much fun. Like, you know, these are people too. And we just had a really good time with that. So after that, it was still my birthday. It was actually on my birthday that we went to see the show. And I said, I really want some chocolate cake for my birthday. And so we went back to Pederinos, the restaurant we had eaten dinner at. And, we arrived, it was like right at 11 when we arrived, and they said, we're really sorry, but the kitchen is closed. And so we asked, you know, where would you recommend to go? Do you know of any places that serve dessert after 11? And they said, well, there's a bar across the street and their kitchen might still be open. So we went across the street, and the hostess greeted us, and she said, the kitchen is closed. Let me ask the chef real quick for you because she's still here. And the chef was super nice and was like, yep, I can dish out a dessert for you. You let me know whatever you want and I'll get it for you. So we ordered some chocolate cake with coffee ice cream. My husband enjoyed the coffee ice cream because I hate coffee, but the cake was so fabulous. And all the food in Chicago is beautiful. This is not something I'm used to. I'm used to Qdoba where everything's dumped in a bowl or a burrito. But all of the food we had from local places was just beautifully presented, and I loved that. So we had chocolate cake, and we're sitting there eating our chocolate cake, and I hear this voice, and I was like, that's Thomas Jefferson. And I look over, and there's a group of people sitting at a nearby table at the bar. And sure enough, it was the guy who played Thomas Jefferson. And I'm watching, and my husband's like, what are you talking about? I said, that's Thomas Jefferson over there. He goes, oh, okay. And then as we were watching, we also figured out that the woman who played Mariah Reynolds / Peggy was there, and the man who played John Lawrence / Philip Hamilton, Alexander's son. I can talk. So Philip Lawrence, Mariah / Peggy, and Thomas Jefferson / Lafayette were all sitting at the table with a few other people. And it took me about 30 minutes to kind of get up the courage to do anything about it. And I texted my friends who are really familiar with the show, and I said, these people are sitting at a nearby table. Do I go over and say hi? And they said, you will regret it if you don't. And so I just went up, and the woman who played Mariah looked at me and she goes, oh, do you want to say something? Come on over. And she invited me over, and I just kind of like freaked out for a second. I think I was just really tired and emotionally just kind of a wreck from the night, but I was just like, I said, are you the cast of Hamilton? And they said, yes, we are members of it. And I said, I just wanted to say you guys did such a good job. It's my birthday. You guys made my birthday really special. And they said, happy birthday. And I left. I did have a program in my hand, and I would have loved to have them sign it, but I didn't bring a pen, and I didn't want to look like an idiot. And so I just left it at that. So I still have my program, but I also have the memory that I got to meet them. And there was a man with his back to me when I came up, and that turned out to be King George, who was so good. They were all so good. Everybody was amazing. Like, I would normally love to say, oh, King George was my favorite, but I mean, Thomas Jefferson was amazing, and Aaron Burr was amazing. Everybody was so amazing, and it's hard to pick what part was the most amazing of the experience. So we went home after we had chocolate cake, or we went back to the hotel, and then the next day we just walked around. That's all we did. We just walked around Chicago. I found a David's Tea shop. I didn't know David's Tea sold in the United States. I thought it was a Canadian thing. So I bought, I treated myself. This was my birthday present to myself, was this little, like, it's called a macaron tea, or macaroon. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like these little teeny tiny teas, and they're so cute. And they're all like their summer flavor. There's like a cantaloupe ice and a raspberry something. And, it's like all these really cute little teas, and they all smell so good. This one is coconut cream pie. And they're loose leaf, and I don't really have a way to use loose leaf tea, so I also bought myself a tea infuser. And I've been making them, been brewing them hot and then icing them, and they've been really good. So that was a fun experience for me. And we ate at a sandwich place. I don't remember the name of it, but they have, like, their advertised sandwich is like turkey and cranberries and stuffing. It's like a Thanksgiving sandwich. Those of you from the area probably know what I'm talking about, but my sandwich was really good, and my husband's was really good. And so we did that. We just had a good time enjoying Chicago as a couple. We haven't traveled together, just the two of us, since we went to the Dominican Republic a few years ago, and so it was really nice just to get away and go on an adventure together. And so we're already talking about ideas that we have for our next adventure. We're thinking maybe New York or Seattle might be options. Some places that are completely different from where we live, you know, just to see what not the rest of the world, but see what other parts of the world are like. And so it was a good time. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this was a really fun recap. If you want to see pictures from our adventure, I'm going to add a few pictures at the end. You can always follow me on Instagram, which is @butterflym4, and I have a ton of pictures from our trip there. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.